Hello, everyone. Welcome back. So I started out in the first video just doing a huge expose on all sorts of things flow and some of the core principles and stuff and examples and really delving into the possibilities around it. Now I want to kind of parse those out into some smaller topics and as we explore this whole thing. And one of the first things I want to break into is the concept of rhythm here. Flow is never a constant. There's always a pause. There's an on and an off. There's time off, um, and this is really important. Everything in who we are, how we flow as people together in relationship, it's never a constant thing. Even with your breath, there's an out breath and an in breath. There's the release. What is flow but a a process happening, and that process has a beginning and an end. Um, Even in the natural world, we have uh, the rhythm of the seasons, the rhythm of uh, even just as simple as a stream bed. It has rhythms of increased in flow, not flowing at all, 100-year flood flow. There's all these different. Um, in time, we have those rhythms in time. We also have rhythms in space. This can be, the place you live all the time, and then the places you visit. So we have these rhythms in space of almost like the octave of our home, and we hit these different harmonies of the world around us, be it the grocery store, um, a certain place you like to walk. Um, those that has a rhythm too, and that goes into like say for our life we have that was for our life, and then for the natural world you get into um, the power of a place by the things that have happened there and how these different rhythms build in time. Um, or we could even get into another smaller subject of time happening all at once. And so they're not really happening in time as they are as happening in that space. And that space has that energy, and it, in a way, always has and will always have that energy there. Um, if we take time out of the equation, in a sense. Um, and I really like thinking about these rhythms in time like that, without the time component, but also with the time component. And in that, we get into the easiest three-dimensional picture of it is the spiral, and or the vortex is the 3D. The spiral is the 2D, and it's there we get into these rhythms of space. Later, I want to get into some principles of projective geometry and some really interesting work around those relationships in the natural world. Um, and of course, everyone loves to touch on the pine cone and the spirals there, and those there are those visual rhythms, patterns, um, that are pretty easy to notice. And then there are the ones that aren't so easy to notice. Still sticking with the spirals and the geometry, but we get into different egg shapes or even kidney shapes. Why those? What's going on there? And we'll get into that later. But um, this idea of rhythm in space is all very very important also. So in all of this, we come to, I'm sure everyone was thinking of it right off the bat when I said rhythm. We come to music, and this is the one of the most beautiful, and you can really see the infinitude of complexity from something that is relatively simple in concept. Um, but that complexity is there because of that simplicity compounding, pretty much. And we get into uh, pitch and tone and different how these interact with each other to create harmonies, which give us our chords, which then placed in time and in relationship to each other can give us chord progressions in songs with different rhythms. And but everything here is in oscillation, is in flow. Everything here is moving and relating to one another. And as great musicians know, you are responding to one another. It's not mechanical, and that's something that's going to be have to be explored more, and something we'll have to learn to wrap our heads around as Westerners and as a world that has become inundated with this Western mindset of mechanicalization. Everything is mechanical. It's going to be, we're going to have to step away from that. But in doing so, gain we gain viewpoints. We gain knowledge nuggets, the cool little gems of understanding the world around us. And so, yeah, rhythm, flow. We'll definitely be building on this, but just a few thoughts right there. Thanks.